Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's Sim Racing Heat race in China for round 12 of NSA season number 4 from Shanghai, China. As we just had in the real life race, finally back after 5 years. One of my favorite tracks. We got 13 brave guys to take on this very challenging and very unique circuit that is shaped inside of a letter of the Chinese alphabet, or at least it's a saying. And I'd like to welcome you to tonight's broadcast, and we will be looking at, first and foremost, the current championship standings from last time out. We got Critical Damage taking the first back-to-back race wins. That's an all-time record for Sim Racing Heat in this league. We got quite a hectic race from Nordic Ninja's side, and he lost out on huge points compared to his championship rival, although he has claimed in the Discord in the lead up to this Grand Prix that he's not taking this championship as serious as he could be, and that his pace in Hungary earlier in the season showed that there's more potential. So I'm not so sure what to make of this, but I am certain we're still gonna have a good race tonight. We got Andy Andre, who took another second place finish, as you can see, has collected some of them now, and that makes up for his 8th podium. Only Critical Damage with 9 is ahead of him. And we got Fellison finished in P10 after 2 more or less mediocre races. And my drive today was Moksha, who took his second podium in 3 races and is on the verge to bring Williams more up in the championship table in terms of the constructors. And as you can see, Williams is at 70 points now. He moved them, the team past Haas and Alfa Romeo. Merck and Red Bull are still closely matched with 5 points. As you can see, Ferrari is running away with it. In terms of points, you only got 156 left, which means it's going to be a tough task for Nordic Ninja to keep the championship hope alive, and Andy is still fighting him. And we got also a nice stat I found about Nordic and his Australia record. There only have been 2 races in Australia which he attended, and then both he finished 4th. Let's look at the track map really quick. We got the Chinese Grand Prix, who debuted in 2004. It is a circuit with 16 corners, is kept as the same as the original, and we had some very iconic moments here, I would say. We got the first win of Nico Rosberg in 2012, and we had the first Red Bull win in 2009 with a 1-2 finish and a pole position, obviously celebrated by Red Bull on this weekend's Grand Prix, as they took their 100th pole and I think 116th win, with Max leading the way and Checo finishing P3, as Norris a very good championship run throughout the weekend, taking sprint pole as well. Turn 6, very iconic overtaking opportunity from Dan Ricciardo, published basically in 2018. This was a move to take Bottas into that corner and run away with it after a late safety car. And obviously we got the infamous 2010 moment where Sebastian Buemi in practice set the brakes and his wheel fell off, and his front tires decided, nah, I'm done for the day, mate. Sorry, we're gonna leave you hanging here. And he still tried to steer the car anyway. Also, 07, infamous pit lane incident with Lewis Hamilton to throw away his hopes at the rookie championship. And I think there was also a very interesting moment when the grass was on fire this weekend. So let's head out to the drivers, to the qualifying session, which is underway, and Moksha as of right now, has set the first time and is also the fastest, with Param just beating that. Let's see what the tires look like at the moment. He's also going for the mediums again. That is not the correct way to take that infamous turn 6. I'm sorry, in Gene. Let's look at the drivers for tonight, as I have to correct myself on last week. I wasn't aware that Kismukus is Scrat, so after realizing his name in the Discord is also yeah, mixed with the Red Bull colors. Yeah, that's on me. So we got, for tonight, we got both Red Bulls then completed as we had last time out. We have the same Mercedes lineup as in Australia with Andy, Andre, and Perrin. We got Williams again with Moksha and Uyghur, both back at the wheel again. We got Insigne, who will be racing alongside Fellison as a reserve, since Doy is missing. There is again no Alfa Romeo. We got both AlphaTauris with the names of Crank York and Supermax. We had a more or less tricky weekend in Australia. Crank York had a very lonely race at the end, and Supermax as well. Then we got Sibo, who is still the only driver in the Alpine, and holding that flag up high. And we got critical damage and Kovatska again for the Ferrari. And they will be running away with the championship as Fellison puts it into P3 with a 32.6 at the moment. P3 as Nordic Ninja, Andy, Andre, and Kovatska have already passed Parem, who is only on the medium tires as of right now. We are missing Slayer for Haas on this night's Grand Prix, and we also got no Ziak for Haas. And let me look. Is there anyone else? No, I can't spot anyone else. Yeah, and there's no other reserve driver I wasn't aware of. So that is the grid for tonight. 13 runners, which is enough to have a good race. Let's put it like this. No, I'm not flaming anyone here. Okay, let's go on board. Or let's go with Kismokus, who is the only on-track driver who has not set a time yet, and critical damage has opted to go for the intermediate tires. That was the first sector already. Now we're heading into the very fast and also very bumpy turns 7 and 8 with a double left-hander of 9 and 10, and onto this short straight to complete the first 2 sectors. And we got this tricky and hard to master left-right chicane onto the longest in a straight line, pointing straight line, as I'm sure you heard by many commentators on this weekend if you watched the Grand Prix. It is not the fastest straight, the longest straight, as Kismokus goes very deep and spins the car around. 1.2 kilometers, but actually I think Baku was longer with 2 point something kilometers, since it's not a straight line. It's the longest full throttle part, I would say. Okay, let's put it like this. Okay, we got Kismokus coming back into the pits. Let's see who is out. What about Nocivo? Looks to be on a lap. Gonna put away the tires for you here. Look at it later maybe. The Alpine driver is currently also in the second sector, as we have watched on with Kismokus earlier on. We got a slight improvement of 61 thousandths of a second into the detection zone of sector 2, and we are going through this bank corner of 13 onto the main straight. Best overtaking opportunity tonight into the hairpin of 14. 100-meter braking point. If you are brave enough and have good deceleration, then you might even go for a later opportunity. That was not the best last corner, and he actually stayed with that improvement of 61 thousandth of a second. Let's see who else we got. There's a Mercedes. Again on the mediums. Parem will be checking out what he can do. And we got Crank York, who's also in a starter lap. And Kismakus has retired at the exit of 2. Which no car is behind at the moment. So it will be hard to catch. And he's gone, okay. So we got Kovatska in the middle sector. As critical damage now starts a lap. And that is not invalid. Damn. Okay, we got Fellison on the outlap as well. Gonna switch to that camera. What's with Mosh? I'm trying to catch people on the flying lap. This one is invalid. Nordic Ninja is also on 1. Currently holds the pole position time by a whopping second. Which I am not surprised. He has still the most pole positions with 6 compared to critical damage 4. And he has managed to win 3 races this season as he puts in a 30.8 point. Jesus Christ. 35.85. I can't speak tonight apparently. Let's see what Andy Andre can do. Take a better pit lane entry than Lewis Hamilton. Very well done. Crank York also into the pits. And we got Nosibu, who's probably on the in-lap as well. As we have watched him earlier. And Pyrelm is the next guy. Again on the mediums. I think you have enough tires in a short qualifying session to not waste your second mediums. But he is determined to complete this run. And he does not improve and stays with a 32.9 for the moment. Kowaska has pitted, so we are looking at the race winner from Australia and the other 4 races before that. Critical damage also opted for the pit lane entry and aborting his lap with 5 minutes and 50 seconds left. The last corner was quite nicely taken by Fellison and he improves by 0.3 of a second and gaps the advantage even out to Kovatska. That gap is currently half a second from the McLaren in P3 to the Ferrari in P4. Most of the guys are currently inside the pits. As you can imagine, the last runs are probably starting right now. Moksha retired. Why? Your time wasn't that great, my friend. P6 is the maximum the Williams driver can get, who has been on the podium for 2 of the last 3 races, as mentioned before in the intro. Fellison is on an in lap. Gonna quickly want to look something up in the OBS. Okay. Why not? Ah, here, okay. Can't scroll it. I think. Cool advantage, okay. That would be way easier to do this. Nice, okay. Just wanted to get the chat in my OBS as well. Okay, Kowalska is about to complete a lap. We got 2 minutes remaining, most of the drivers are out laps. Kowalska is currently in 4th as critical damage has invalidated his lap time earlier. He is looking to improve. What can he do? Half a second faster almost, and takes P3 away from Fellison, but I would assume that this was his final run. Uyghur is still on... Oh, and he spins! We caught that one beautifully. That's no Sabo. Starting a lap. And Fellison is on an out lap. What about the... second Mercedes? First Mercedes, I should say. Let's hope he's not getting impeded by his own teammate. Andy Andre is currently 1.6 seconds behind Nordic Ninja, and he aborts the lap. Not so sure if that wasn't an attempt worth it. As we go on board with the Ferrari, is there some sort of slipstream game going on here? And I would assume yes, since that's quite a toll for critical damage, who now heads into the turn 14 breaking point. My English today is abysmal. Last corner for the Ferrari. Can he beat Nordic Ninja to the pole position? He cannot. He is 0.7 of a second behind. The Red Bull is absolutely outclassed the field so far, and there is likely no one to beat it. Nordic Ninja has put out a performance inside this qualifying session I have not seen before in comparison to the field. No Zero is now crossing the line. Let's see if he can improve. He does by 0.7. And there's the Nordic Ninja onto the last push lap. And we got Supermax next, who is improving by 0.9, almost a second faster, but can't improve his position. Is staying in P10. Pararam is the next guy to cross the line. We got the checkered flag flying out, and some guys are completing their laps. Fellison, Pararam, and Ingina maybe. Let's see, oversteer moment there for the Mercedes. He puts it in 4th, is equal on times with his teammate. But if you look at the details, he is split by 14 thousandths of a second. Ingine is through. Then we got Viga who's through as well. I can't... Oh, he beat Supermax. And Fellison is through. And he goes into P3. Well done. 0.4 of a second faster. And he is P3 now. But still 0.7 behind critical damage. Who himself is currently 0.7 behind. But let's see if Nordic Ninja... I'm sorry for all the words. Can beat his time. How far is the advantage gonna be? Let's find out. Nordic Ninja crossed the line. It's a whopping 0.9 of a second. And he puts it on pole with a 1:33.40. And what a lap that has been for pole position here tonight. Supermax has nothing left in the tank. He's out of fuel. And with that, he's P11. 2 places behind his teammate. And that was something I have barely seen before, if I can recall correctly. What a performance by Nordic Ninja, who just obliterates the field. True Max Verstappen performance here from the Finnish guy tonight. And let's see, after 5-minute break, if he can put this performance into race pace with 0, or let's say the fewest time penalties compared to Australia, and make it another win for him, which would be his 4th win of the season. He is now up to 7 poles. And that's it for tonight's short qualifying session. Nordic Ninja ahead of Critical Damage Fellison, Andy Andre, who is partnered by Perem, and they are very closely matched tonight. Kovatska, Nocebo, Moksha, who retired early, Crank York, Viga, Supermax, Ingina, and Kismakus, who retired somehow at the exit of turn 2. I'm not so sure what happened there. And fun fact, Critical Damage is on 7 wins. Nordic Ninja is on 7 poles tonight. If Ninja wins, he has the same amount of wins as Critical Damage has poles. And Andy Andre has one of them each. Okay. Let's head into a short break. And see you in 5 minutes time. Okay, after an extended break, we are back inside the lobby as someone, the same guy as last week, has pressed early again. So let's look at current situation again. We got critical damage taking the lead so far in this championship. He's currently running away with it a bit as he has won 4 races in a row now. And that will be hard to beat for Nordic, but he has the chance to claw back some points for tonight. And if he... Oh no, please, not again. And if he can extract all the points and gain 8, if you can gain 8 points over critical damage, that would be a very good step, but would still require a lot of more wins, and also maybe fuck up from critical damage as well. Before I miss the race start again, because there's no formation lab, I'm just gonna stay inside this waiting room. One more thing, the Mercedes both clashed into each other at the end of qualifying. So one of the runs Andy had was actually a collision with Parham, and that's why he couldn't put in an earlier banker lap and was also apparently forced to abort this one. Is there sound? Yeah, okay. It's very pixelated at the moment. Okay, we go to 5 red lights for the Chinese Grand Prix for tonight's Sim Racing Heat event. And we are underway for the race. Critical Damage has a very good look down the inside against the Red Bull. And they collide! The championship rivals collide and Critical Damage is down the order! And the Red Bull just continues on. Andy Andre says second place from Critical Damage, is now in P10 as we turn on the telemetry to see what's going on with the tires. And that's a huge moment. Huge moment early on in this race. As we can see, Parham is on the soft tire and Supermax is on the hards. Everyone else has opted for the mediums. And Critical Damage already has retaken a place and has passed Supermax. What a moment. Very early on, slight contact with the drivers. And he's almost sent into a spin at the outside of 2. And there's a pass for Parham against Fellison, who had a very bad exit out of the double left-handed chicane of 9 and 10. And now you can see that Critical Damage is making moves. He's around the outside of No Sabo. And he is up into 8th place. There's no damage to his car apparently. And there's very little he has lost in terms of time. But still some positions he has made up to. He's defending from No Sabo, who seems to be on a very low downforce setup. Will probably continue to struggle to follow them. As Nordic Ninja takes the fastest lap at the end of the first lap. And he is on to Crank York. And takes also P7 off of the AlphaTauri. He spent some years now as Nordic Ninja has cleared the DRS of Andy Andre already, and there's a gap forming between Moksha and Kovatska, which also seem to go hand in hand with the pace all of them showed in qualifying. And there will be gaps opening up very soon, I assume. Engine is already 2.6 behind Kismukus, who we are watching at the moment. And Crank York is probably a bit Oh, and there's a spin. Supermax has spun. And critical damage just takes the outside of Moksha, who has an oversteer moment into the turn 11-12 chicane. And already some half second behind, as Parem puts now pressure onto Andy Andre, which you can assume will be happening since he's on the faster tire. We will go to the Mercedes with the 47, who is already at 20% DRS. It's crazy. And Riga's not even on the grid because he disconnected. Okay, we're only running with 12 cars now then. Let's see what Fallison is opting to do here. He's on the slower tire, but the softs wear out quite fast. But 24% of ERS is not great, as Nordic Ninja is already up to 2 seconds. That's a very, very bad turn in for Pyram. Fallison can opt to go for the dive on the inside, but I think he plays it smart and waits for the DRS detection zone, as Kovitska is also in the DRS of the McLaren. And we will probably see an overtake now. It's very close already. Moves to the outside as Supermax had retired from the session, and there's an immediate vertical safety car called. Faster than the one for Bottas, who was quite frankly a horrible midnight Jesus Christ. A horrible nap from the FIA as Nordic Ninja pulls into the pits and Perem as well. And critical damage. Not so sure what's the plan here. Perem I can understand. The rest is unknown to me. I can see no Sebo is also in the pits. Sorry for my horrible English tonight. My brain is quite fried. I got exams on Wednesday. As Ingine passes Nordic on the outside. Not so sure if that was allowed. It wasn't. Was way past the safety. Critical damage as a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. And that he takes another huge blow, even bigger than before. He's in P10 onto the hards and has to go through the pits again in 3 laps time, and that will take him around 20 seconds further behind than he is right now. And Nordic Ninja has opted to go for a new and fresh set of mediums, so he has to pit again, not only because the tires won't last, but because he hasn't applied to the rule of the Pirelli tires that you have to run 2 different sets of dry tire compounds. And there's a move for second place against the McLaren, as Insigne has spun at the exit of 12 into 13, and Kovacs can't complete the overtake on his fellow Hungarian colleague Fallison. There's another DRS zone on the main straight. Around the outside as Andy Andre is running away with the lead at the moment. To the inside, he is, but Fallison is just a car length ahead, and he can't complete the overtake. There's an attempt of a dive. Critical damage immediately takes the drive-through penalty. Not so sure what the play here is. It was a virtual safety car, and they all need to box again at this stage. And there is Insigne spinning. Let's see if it's dangerous for critical damage, because even with so little competitors, you still can run into the back of the wrong guy and have your race ruined. As Kovatska is trying it again, he has 20% less ERS available to him. And the senior is also off the road again. One Ferrari is trying to take a McLaren. The other one is in the second sector. Kovatska has completed it. Fallison is looking to the inside. Kovatska has a poor run through the exit of 15. Stays ahead for now. Doesn't have the DRS as Nordic Ninja and Kismoku swap. That's the Red Bull who has led the race until lap 3. Back into 6th place. And now there's a repass moment for Fallison into the first corner as Nordic Ninja takes the new fastest lap of a 34.0. First 3-second time penalty there as well. Perem also went onto a new soft tire as Fallison is being passed by Kovatska again. He's trying on the inside, trying to outbrake him in Daniel Ricciardo style, but it's not working. I want to see if there was a time penalty for... That also is a drive-through per Perem. He has to serve it at the end of this lap. And that is also even more unfortunate since he is on a new fresh soft tire. And he can't really put that tire to use. And Gina is going into the pits. Maybe even to retire from this race. And if that happens, every driver who finish this race will get points, and this is the case now, as his McLaren colleague is trying to go for another attempt. Jesus Christ, the camera work. Against the Ferrari. And this battling is helping Andy Andre. It is helping Nordic Ninja, who's close to the back of Moksha. Trankyok also has passed Kismokus, who's now 4 seconds behind. Perem needs to enter the pits now. Nordic Ninja puts in a new fastest lap. As Fallison and Kovatska battle it out one more time. Why is it so zoomed in? I don't need that. I want to see the battle. Thank you. Let's hope for better camera. Next game. That is quite a good racing, as Nordic has passed Moksha into turn 6 and is now only 4 seconds behind them. They already lost another half a second through the first 60% of lap 7. But they are, in my eyes, on the better strategy. Kovatska is on still 20% less ERS, and Nordic Ninja already clawed back over a second on the guys in front after Moksha has been passed by him. Nocebo is in 8 at the moment, the new Hearts. And on the outside, it is Fallison again to defend the position. Let's see how many times we can see people running wide at the exit. Kovatska might go for another overtaking opportunity into turn 1. No, he's staying behind this time. 0.3 of a second behind isn't good enough, because the first turn is also no hard braking zone. You can't outbrake there. That is very difficult to achieve. Go on board with the Red Bull, who's following these guys behind. He's on 14% ERS, which is quite a lot to have used at this stage. Critical damage is 4 seconds behind Perem. Both had to serve a drive-through penalty. And at this stage, Nordic Ninja outscores his championship rival by 11 points, which is not much when you look how how big the gap is. Let's look at it quite frankly at the moment. Oh wait, I know there's a shortkey for that. 35 seconds. 35 seconds of a gap. These two are having at the moment, and it's gonna be, in terms of the points, more now. Very late ES usage for the Red Bull against the Ferrari. On the inside of turn 14, he is already blinking, which signals he is less than 15% of ERS. And he's into P3. And he's hunting down Fellison, who is up in front. Uses even more of the ERS to make quick use and dispatch them, because he wants to catch up to Andy Andre, who has also stayed out with most of these guys, especially the two he just had passed. And Naughty Ninja is up into second place after pitting early under the first virtual safety car we had because of a collision spin incident with Ingina, who is no longer with us in this race. And 5.8 seconds is the gap now to Andy Andre. And this means we are back to the only but very entertaining private Hungarian duel between Fellison and Kovatska. Fellison has used even more ERS now, almost as the same amount as Kovatska has. Sorry, because they tried to stay behind Nordic Ninja and stay in the DRS, because that would probably result in a faster recovery time for ERS. For Fellison, he had managed it better and more than Kovatska before Nordic Ninja passed them, but the increased usage didn't result in more pace, even though he had DRS to keep the gap. It was very wide line into turn 2, and there's some wheel banging as the Ferrari sneaks up the inside. Can he complete the overtake? No. The line through the exit of 3 is a bit too long for the Ferrari to capitalize of any mistake, as Critical Damage, who's also in very low ERS, is passing Perem into turn 1 on low ERS maybe. They're battling side by side. Like a better camera, thank you. The so-called silver arrows with the red tires against the red Ferrari with the white tires or gray tires before. And that move seems to be done. He's going defensive. I'm keeping an eye on the Fellison Kovatska battle, but I assume that is just a swapping of positions how any way they like it to do. Yeah, and I've been swapping now. I want to see what this battle is doing. Oh, after collided, that looked very odd on the minimap. Can't see damage for the Ferrari. No damage for the McLaren as well. Okay. And Nordic Ninja has closed the gap by over a second now. That was very late from Fellison. There's no alternative 9 he can use at the moment, and Perem can't overtake Critical Damage, as I assume his exit out of turn 13 was way better. And he can't repass him into turn 1 as well, so we stay with the... Oh! Apparently, there was an opportunity to switch places for them, as they went briefly side to side, wheel to wheel, into turn 3, and there was no attempt made at turn 6. We will be seeing pit stops very soon. I don't know why Perem is using ERS inside the corners. That is very confusing to me. And I've raced 600 hours on this game. I don't... No, that would make sense. Even if you have it set to toggle, then you would be still able to release it early on. Around the outside, Kowalska against Fellison for attempt number 6942 or something. And they're still side by side here. I would love a better camera, thank you. Into turn 7, very closely matched. Is there space on the inside for Fellison? There is. And he will bring it back in, but he's on the outside of turn 9 and 10 now. And there might be a change of the lead, a change for the lead, because Nordic Ninja has come up to Andy Andre, but he's not close enough an overtake opportunity at this stage. If I was Andy, I would pit now, because he's probably not gonna keep up with the pace of Nordic Ninja as Fellison and Kowalska still trade punches into the hairpin once again. Nordic Ninja just is there to an overtake attempt inside turn 2 and 3. He has so much more traction. Can he redo the infamous... What the fuck? Sorry. I was a bit caught out by how early Andy braked. I was trying to attempt the words of can you redo the infamous 2018 Ricciardo dive? But Andy defended the inside and just let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Can't sing, so I avoid you. I try to avoid being cringe, okay? Moksha hasn't capitalized off of the battering that has been going on, and critical damage has passed no 0 for P8, and that is good, but that's still some work to do. He is, as Nordic Ninja is now the lead car, he is plus 3 seconds behind him as since the last time we have checked. I don't see the McLaren. Where is he? There he is. Okay, Kowalska has passed him again. So if Andy pits now, which he still hasn't, I would assume that will become a reality soon. Then, oh, there's someone in pits. That's Moksha. And Fellison is again on the inside of Kowalska. I'm impressed how they haven't touched severely. And around the outside, turns into the inside line for the next corner. Kowalska is still trying to outbrake him. Doesn't work. Moksha's onto the yard, so I was trying to attempt to say that Andy Andre will be probably losing around 18 to 20 seconds, which will put him 8 seconds in front of Crank York. Nordic has to pit himself soon, but I would think that he would extend to go to the soft. But that is probably not earlier than lap 18 maybe. 10 laps is quite harsh, but still doable. Looking at the infield, Gizmokus also has pitted for the hard tire. Andy is still not in, as Kovetska again moves past Fellison. I'm not so sure why I'm watching this 1v1 battle in China here tonight, with some people having their own private race here. Param, sorry, forget to turn on the gaps again. This is gonna be a double overtake on no Sibo. The Williams is pass. The Mercedes is still on the inside. Crankyork pits. And Moksha takes 2 for 1 on the main straight as Nosibo is now back to P9. And critical damage has taken P5. For critical damage, it would make sense to stop early and use the mediums, because staying out on the hards. They just turned into a good race tire with 11 laps. But he can't bring them to the end. And the soft tire isn't that racy. Like, it drops off so early. Like, I would go maybe at the end of this or next lap, do 11 laps on the mediums. That's nice race pace, and recover what's left. As Crankyork just spins out of turn 3 after just having put the tires on, and Nordic Ninja has spun as well. At the end of the straight, at the exit of the hairpin, he keeps going, and Andy Andre has taken the lead once again. That is awfully wide from Fellison there in the background. And that means the gap is now closed from Nordic Ninja to critical damage. It's now around 31 seconds. But even if critical damage wants to continue these tires to the end, one thing is for certain, Nordic Ninja has to pit. He has not been on any other tire than the medium so far, which is forbidden by the rules to complete the race. As there's no Sabo at the back of Param, who's awfully long on these tires. I would say go for the softs again if you stretch them 12 laps, but that doesn't make any sense, as he also has not been on any other tire than a soft. Oh, Lewis Hamilton, style overtake from Nosibo? No. Andy Andre is into the pits. 12 laps to go. That might even be the soft tire for him. I have no idea why Nordic keeps on going. That doesn't make any sense to me after the spin. Andy's into the pit lane. And it is the soft tire. And both of the Hungarians who have battled for every lap of this race are now into the pits and will also go onto the softs if no major misclick happens, and that is indeed not the case, as we occur some lagging. Critical damage is close to taking both of them outside of the pits, and he has warmed up tires. But on the inside is Fellison already. And even the cold softs have apparently more and better traction than 13 lap old hards. As Nosibo is again at the back of Param. Okay, let's look at the gap again. So if Nordic Ninja pits now, he's gonna be in second, and he has to approximately close a gap of 4 seconds. As Kovatska is being led by his teammate and is now back into 4th place. But He's outside of the DRS, which he had for the whole race, and no Sibo has passed per him on the inside of turn 10. I'm still no idea where Nordic keeps going. Question mark. Not so sure what that means. Let's go. Let's stay with that. There's an attempt of a repass from the Mercedes. And he slows it down in time to take P7 away. And he's finally into the pits. Like 3 laps too late. But it's your call, I assume. Moksha is putting pressure onto Critical Damage, who is also not pit. Mediums for Param now. My feet are freezing. I have no idea why. Nordic is into the pits now. We'll probably rejoin the race in second. Yet the gap will be bigger to Andy as he just puts in the new fastest lap. And Feddersen and Kovatska just love each other so much they want to hold hands through the last turn. They happen, I'm sorry. And there's been a spin from Krankjörg, who has trouble rejoining the track at the entry of turn 13. And there's a 10-second gap now, instead of a probably 4-second gap. But I would assume that Nordic Ninja has the pace to close that gap. These people are very low ES at this stage, I have to say. I'm surprised how Critical is not pitting. Why would you put yourself through these old tires? Like, the advantage with new tires is so huge. There's no one with penalties so far. I can see how he's still following Moksha, who has 10 laps. I can't speak tonight. 10 lap younger tires. What the fuck? Whatever. Another private duel. And Feddersen is ahead of Kovalska again. 7.2 seconds now for Nordic Ninja. 10 laps younger tire, fresher tires. 10 lap fresher tires. No, that doesn't make any sense. Fresh tires that are 10 laps younger. Yeah. I don't know why. In my head it doesn't make any sense, but I'm certain it's correct. 10 lap doesn't make any sense. 10 laps younger tires. No Sibo is into the pits, so softs. With 9 laps remaining. 6 seconds is now the gap from Andy Andre to Nordic Ninja. And that would do a lot in terms of the championship. But we can't forget how both the championship rivals had a collision into turn 1, which cost critical damage, a lot of time, and then he had a drive-through penalty on top. Nordic Ninja has just taken the new fastest lap of a 1:33.1 and was roughly 2 times faster than the Mercedes, who is currently leading this race, but only by 5 seconds. Pedersen is again repassed by Kovacs. If you rewatch this thing, I'm sorry, but there's no real action apart from this. Like, these guys battle fair and square. They probably know each other for a long time now. Both Hungarians in good looking cars as well in this game. Let's see if the other Ferrari has an opportunity. I'm not so sure how he keeps these tires alive. Inside line for turn 6. Doesn't overshoot it. Is that comeback from Moksha? No, but he is on double the amount of ERS compared to the Ferrari. Parem is also closing in on Gizmogus. Pedersen has repassed Kovacs. If I were you, and you have been in open lobbies for the eternity of hell, and you see this clean racing, I would put my 4 letters, as we say in Germany, into the Discord and the DMs of Pedersen and tell him I want to race as cleanly as you did with Kovacs. I want these kind of battles. Sign up for Sim Racing Heat tonight. If you see this, feel this grid, have amazing battles like these two. This is awesome to watch, apart from it being very repetitive. And I have no idea why Critical Damage decides now to pit with 6 laps to go. Bro, the damage is done now. You have passed the point of no return. How on earth are you pulling 21 seconds or more to get back where Moksha was? That doesn't make any sense. Sorry. Need to drink something. And he has passed Gizmogus. I would assume. Oh, there's a spin. Gizmogus just spun. 2-second gap for Nordic. 2-second gap left from Nordic to Andy. I'm sorry. This time I captured the start, but I butchered a lot of words. Hey, I'm here for experience. I'm trying things. Fuck you. No, I'm kidding. I hope you enjoyed the show. Apart. See, this is where it gets. I hope you enjoy the show even with the amount of words I butcher and phrases and vocabulary. So tune in next week to see if I can butcher even more. I will have to look up what the next race is, because I don't remember at the moment. And I get an advertisement for a very strange dating site. Abu Dhabi! Why is it not Miami? Miami is after Abu Dhabi. That would have been so fitting. Is Nordic Pass already? No. But he soon will be. Same amount of EIS. Very close to equal. Yeah, we will go back to Feddersen, Kovalska when the final lap is there, maybe. Although I would assume Nordic Ninja is gonna take the position away from Andy Andre very soon. On to the first and the best overtaking opportunity on this racetrack. Mercedes versus Red Bull wasn't a thing when we had COVID, but was very much the deciding factor in terms of teams who played for the big titles in the past years, especially in 2021 when Max took that infamous last lap overtake on Hamilton to clinch his first world title. And now on the inside is Nordic Ninja, who can be described as the Finnish Max Verstappen tonight. He took the pole by over a second, made an extra pit stop because there only was one VSC, and has reclaimed the lead from Andy Andre on lap 25. As Kovalska, oh, very late braking here. As Kovalska has retaken P3. From Fellison, and this private duel is going on for P8 now. Nocebo is on fresher, grippier tires, and Gizmicus just spun. Is he running out of fuel? No. But he's underfueled. Is anyone else underfueled? Pyrealm is underfueled? No. Okay. Let's see who decides the marathon between two Hungarian fellas. As we watch from the rear wing of Kovalska once again to see Fellison pass on the inside for turn 14. There's a switchback attempt made from Kovalska, which is not completed. And there's a spin for Gizmicus in the middle sector. Crank York can easily pass that. And the Red Bull in P10 is on the way again. You know, even if these two collide, the one who arguably makes the other one spin can wait, and they still could continue the battle since Moksha is 15 seconds behind. 15. And they've been battling for the whole fucking race. And critical damage is 5 seconds behind Moksha now. To be honest, this only works, this odd strategy only works because the pace advantage is so big. Like, from the inside of the Discord I know, before Nordic actually gave him the option to look for another setup, he would have been on atrociously high wings. Top speed, I mean. So very little wings, actually. As this camera is still ass. Let me change the cameras by myself for next game, please. Which won't be coming, but a boy can dream. Nordic is now 3.4 seconds ahead. Andy Andre has driven a very good race. And judging by how frustrating the collision with his teammate probably still is, as there's a spin for Perrin at the exit of 13. And these two just continue to battle as we just entered the penultimate lap of this race. Andy Andre was probably one of the candidates to start alongside Nordic Ninja in second place, because I frankly can't believe he would have put it anywhere close, let alone ahead of the Red Bull. Yeah, we have, it's 2 laps after he completed the pass. The tires are 2 laps younger, but he already pulled 4.5 as Kovatska locks up into turn 11 I mean, sorry. And his tires must be screaming. Bro, I don't want this ass on board now. Allison is alongside. He's now opening the DS lap. And he has repassed the Ferrari. Honestly, if one of the admins of this league wants me to go back to count how many times they've switched places, they probably alone break the 2016 record of the Chinese Grand Prix, where 161 overtakes have happened. Like, on God, I swear they could have done it. Anytime the red and green arrow shows up between their names, that's an overtake. It just would count that, go for an overtake, and Fellison is passed again. It is the last lap for Nordic Ninja, who has just completely dominated this race. He just lapped his teammate. True definition of Max Verstappen. In the Discord he says he doesn't care. If he would practice more, he would win by 20 seconds like he did in Hungary. It has been 6 for now, and I have the bad feeling that Perrin just ran out of fuel as No is closing in. Nordic Ninja is taking the final and big hairpin one more time, and just like Max Verstappen on yesterday's Grand Prix, he is winning the Chinese Grand Prix in 2023. Nordic Ninja is your race winner, and second will be Andy Andre, who have been very good in terms of race pace and deciding what to do with the strategy, but it wasn't enough. Even with an extra stop under the VSC, it is the win for Nordic, and Fellison just capitalized of a mistake of Kovatska. Kismikus is through as well. Fellison takes another third place as Mokshay critical damage race into the final hairpin. That's a very big squeeze from the Ferrari into the last turn, and critical damage takes it. That was very passive from Mokshay to say. Like, that's your inside corner. Just take it. Okay, bro. Nocivo in the Alpine. It's another points finish for him. He's the only Alpine in the grid. But he's still collecting them points. He's not retired. Crank York. Yeah, just passed. He's out of fuel. He underfueled the car by a whopping lap. And suffers the consequences. The only guy who can't take him anymore is Kismikus, because he's been left. I have to say, Perrin's strategy, I don't get it. Why start on a soft? Why go for a second soft under the VSC? How's critical damage throughout the day? How? No idea. There's your winner from Finland. And with that, that's a point swing in favor of Nordic for 16 points, as he's taking the fastest lap as well. Next time I should turn on particles, sorry. And that's quite huge. The gap now shrinks, sorry, as I said, sorry, shrinks down from 56 to 40, which is not to be underestimated. Fastest lap wasn't a second faster than the one from Andy, but still a good attempt. Also from critical damage. No idea how he got the drive of the day. Only ENG had a 3-second time penalty. That's good. My Fellerson boxed himself through for P3 finish, which I'm certain these two guys won't forget. And yeah, let's see if we can get some comps this weekend. Give the interviews a rest this week. Okay. Then no interviews. Okay, no comms then. That's fine. Okay. Next up is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Some discussion points, some talking points to be had in the Discord now. I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, apart from the stuttering, lost for words parts. I promise to improve next time. And I hope to see you at the Yas Island in a beautiful hotel, just watching over the triple right-hander in the final sector and seeing some beautiful racing. Once again, have a good night. Thank you. Ta-da.